Hello everyone, hello Michael Sharkey.
Hello Norts Norton, how are you?
Very well, thank you. It's with a spring in my step that we bring the Spruikers this week, because my boys have made their first signing. Izzy Folau,
Yeah, I don't know how they
the Blacktown Bombers.
Can they be your boys? He's the only boy in the club at the moment, isn't he?
Well, Sheeds is my man, so he's like the Pied Piper and I just follow him wherever he goes.
Okay. Well, Izzy is a Bible student, isn't he? Maybe he can be like Jesus and be a fisher of men.
He is. He's a Mormon, I think, so he'll probably have cut a swathe through the west of Sydney.
Are they the ones that can have 8 wives?
Correct.
Well
He'll be
played,
enjoying
Israel.
himself. Let's hear all the latest footy news from Nat at the news desk.
Thanks, Jake. And as you mentioned, NRL star Israel Folau has signed a 4-year deal with the AFL's 18th team, Greater Western Sydney. While the exact value of the contract has not been revealed, Folau's 4-year deal is rumoured to be worth around $6 million. Outspoken Bulldog Jason Ackermanis has been suspended by the club for 2 matches and slapped with a 3-week media ban following the controversy that stemmed from his article on gay footballers. Cat star Gary Ablett's contract talks have been officially put on hold until the end of the season, and North Melbourne vice-captain Drew Petrie will miss up to 6 weeks with a broken right foot. The setback comes just days after Petrie successfully returned from a fracture in his left foot. And that's what's making news this week, boys. Back to you.
So Mick, $6 million over 4 years. There's been a lot of discussion about AFL players getting paid a lot less who've been playing all their life. How would you feel if someone from, say, the gossip columns came over to sport and racing and was paid 10 times what you
Well, that'd only equal about $100, so it's probably not that big a deal actually. If somebody got $6 million, I'd be putting my hand out for a bit of a chop out.
Wrong man to ask, possibly. Let's move on to the footy action. I think there's been a few upsets in the last few weeks.
Indeed.
I think this week we may see a trend of the favourites winning.
We say that every week.
Yeah, I know. One week we're going to get it right. Well, I think St Kilda on Friday night against Richmond and Morals, and they're 114.
Yeah, possibly.
114 is a good price, I think.
Might just sneak over the line.
I think what is particularly good value among one of the favourites this week is Fremantle. They travel to Adelaide. Freo have travelled much better this year. They beat Sydney in Sydney a fortnight ago. They've taken all before them at home, of course. At 144, I think they represent really good value. Adelaide are a basket case and they're 320. Can you see Adelaide defeating Freo? It's 144, the good price there.
In a word, no.
No, yeah, agree with you on that. I spoke of my boys before, Team GWS. They don't come into the competition until 2012, so until then my boys will remain the Essendon Bombers rather than the Blacktown Bombers.
Get your GWS membership yet? Are they doing future memberships?
I might buy a social club membership until then.
Okay.
Sydney are $1.80 favourites against Essendon, who are $2.22. The Bombers have won their last 3 and Sydney have lost their last 4. $1.80 favourite Sydney, with that in mind, I think might be a little bit short. I would have both these teams around the even money mark. How will you play this, Mick?
Essendon might be a sneaky way to go there. Playing good footy, move the ball quick, lots of run. Sydney in a bit of a lull.
I think one advantage for Sydney is that at the SCG, Essendon have played Sydney. In fact, they beat Sydney at the SCG last year, but prior to that, they have played many of their games at the Telstra Stadium, or ANZ Stadium. The Olympic Stadium, whatever it's called these days.
Homebush.
I think Essendon are a chance at 222, but I'm just very concerned about the loss of Fletcher.
Okay.
I don't think you can underestimate the importance of Fletcher to that team. So I think whilst Sydney have averaged only around 10 goals the last 4 weeks, I think they should win. Not prepared to take the 180 though at this stage. Arguably the match of the round is Collingwood and the Dogs. It certainly would have been at the start of the season, but both of these teams have kind of hit the skids a little bit in recent weeks.
Yeah, more so the Dogs in the last week they were pretty ordinary, weren't they?
They were. They defeated your mob by 12 or 13 goals the week before
exactly
that.
A sparkling form line though at the moment.
No, but the Magpies got beaten by Geelong and then went up to Brisbane and got beaten as well. 177 again, I think is possibly too short. This is going to be a really interesting game, and I think one to bet in play. Your selection in this game, Nick?
I'll be going for Collingwood. $1.77 is all right to me. I think they'll run the doggies into the ground.
Okay, let's find out if that's your Betfair Big Spruik of the week in just a moment. But before we get yours, let's get Nat's. Nat, who do you think will win this week?
The Betfair Big Spruik.
Alrighty, this week, guys, I'm going to take Carlton and Hawthorn in a Betfair Oz multi, but I think I'm going to make it a little bit interesting by adding in Aussie Sam Stosur to beat Jelena Jankovic in the French Open semi. Thought I'd just mix it up for fun, and it's paying around $3 there, so let's hope Sammy comes out on top.
Thanks, Nat. I'm glad you mentioned Sam Stosur because she was matched at, I think, 80-1 during her quarterfinal. In her 4th round match against Justine Enna. and was also matched at about $20 to win the French Open in a quarterfinal against Serena Williams. Amazing betting. Betfair's the only place that keeps their tournament markets open during matches. So if indeed you're having a bet on the French Open or any other tennis market, do so there. Mick, your Betfair big spruik on the footy round 11 of the AFL.
We're going to take a 2-leg Oz multi this week. We're going to go Hawthorn at $1.45 to beat Port. I think Port are an absolute rabble.
Yeah, they're pretty ordinary against the Titans last week.
Yeah, say NFL. Absolutely crap.
I'm not convinced by Hawthorn though, mate.
Oh, they only got to beat Port.
Okay, I couldn't even beat Sydney by more than a couple of points last week.
Port got rolled by the Tigers, so bang bang.
Whackety whack. Okay.
And we'll roll them into Collingwood at $1.77. So I don't know what that.
About $3, I think. $1.77, excellent value there. I'm going to go for 3 shorties this week and bang them together in an Oz multi. St Kilda on Friday night at 1.14. Morals, Carlton 1.42 against the D's. I think 1.42 is pretty good value for Carlton there. And Geelong at 1.14 will also win. That should get you
together.
About even money. Mick, I hope you have a profitable weekend on the punt.
I hope so too, Jake.
And you too, Nat. And all the punters out there, enjoy round 11 and we'll catch up with you in advance of round 12.